Okay, good evening, everybody. Thank you. Okay, we could hold up for a second. We're going to have a moment of silence for a silent meditation or prayer, and then followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, okay? You can stand up and... I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, welcome to Bensalem Township Council meeting, June 10th, 2019. Okay, we're going to start out with our very proud of our children and their DARE program. We're going to have a presentation of gift cards to the winners of the Drug and Alcohol, the 2019 button and poster contest. Okay, do we have Mr. Frank Schilling in charge now, or Mr. Fred Horan? Do you want to come up and help me? Okay, the mayor couldn't make it. He had a personal matter he had to be at tonight. Ed, you want to help me out as vice president here? Since the mayor's not here.
Mr. President, thank you for letting us come tonight to present. The Drug and Alcohol Advisory Board is going to be presenting some gifts and the winners of our 2019 DARE button contest and poster contest. But before we do that, I just think it's important to take this opportunity for the next 2 minutes or so just to explain to you just how lucky we are to be able to have the DARE program here in Bensalem. We're the only second municipality in Bucks County that continue to teach DARE K through 6 in our elementary schools and our private elementary schools as well, the 2 Catholic schools as well as the charter school, reaching over about 3,800 kindergartners through 6th graders, and especially concentrating on the 6th graders for the evils of the drug abuse that are going on in this country right now, and the temptations and all the danger signs for drugs, and giving them the ability to say no and to stay away from drugs. We're facing the worst drug epidemic in the United States that we've ever seen. In 1984, we saw a horrendous epidemic with crack cocaine when that was born in New York City. And then this is nothing. Crack cocaine is nothing compared to the opioid epidemic we're seeing now. And every single day, people die in this country. Every single day, people die in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Every single day, people are dying in Bucks County, and that includes Bensalem Township. We get overdoses reported on a daily basis that people are overdosing in our town. And this is just one more tool to prevent, hopefully, these young boys and girls, as they grow up, giving them the tools to say no. And I just want to, thank the council that continue to support, funding the DARE program. Because we used to get funding years ago from the state, but that funding ended some governors ago. But council has seen the necessary to fund this program, and they continue to do that. And hopefully the boys and girls that go to this program, that they will be able to take those tools that they've learned, and hopefully will be able in time say no and push these drug dealers out of here, making it less attractive for dealers to want to sell these drugs on the streets in Bucks County, on the streets certainly in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And a lot of people talk about how the DARE program doesn't work. The statistics don't show the DARE program works. The problem is there's no statistics to show that it does work. And what I mean is a 6th grade or a 5th grade full of 33 kids, I could tell you how many when they turn 18 or 19 have had a drug history or get arrested for drugs. But what is not measurable and what you can't tell is that child that says no to drugs. It's not measurable. It's not a measurable number. 5 kids in a room passing a joint around, and the 1 kid that says no thank you or no or gets out of there, makes an excuse, that is not a measurable number. So, it's just one more tool. It's not the end all, but it's a tool. And again, I thank you for, those when you pass our budget, and this is in the police budget, to continue to fund that DARE program, how important it is. And you'll see the great work like the men and women that are on the Drug and Alcohol Advisory Board. And I'll have Frank Schilling take over. He's the president chair. What do you call yourself?
That's what I am, yes.
Yes, that's what he is. But they all donate their time, volunteers in this township to donate their time. And we've got some amazing winners this year. I think one school, Faust. How many people from Faust this year? You guys like took home a lot of awards. I don't know what's going on over there. But Faust took home a lot of awards this year, and all the schools did a great job. We have such a good relationship with our school district, working and I say every day, I'm not exaggerating, every day we're in communication with the principals, with the directors of elementary education, and all the other directors, and certainly Dr. Lee, the superintendent. So we work real hard to make sure that these kids have the necessary tools to stay away from these drugs, and we will beat this if we continue to work and we don't lose sight of the goal, and that is to keep our kids away from drugs. So without further, I'm going to turn it over to Frank Schilling for, I know all the hard work your group did.
Yeah, know me as Frank, not the president. That's who I am. I'm Frank. So I have my members I'd like to have come up here also to, it's not me, it's the team. So I can't do it without a team. So we have George, Rose, Jean, Frank. So Frank. Yes. Okay. So and announce the DARE members also.
Well, the DARE officers come on up too?
Yes. Thank you. Good job.
Thank you, sir.
Good job. So these two officers here are the people that go around to the schools for the kids, make the announcements, teach them, and hoping they learn from this, because that's all we have is education to help these kids so they can say no, right? Okay. All right, so at this point, we're just going to...
We're gonna walk up front.
Yeah, we're going to say the names of the kids, and as we say them, if the kids could come to the front, in front of their poster or button, and hold it in front of them with the prize. It's really why you're here, we know that. With the money that we're to give you for the place that you took. Okay? All right, Frank.
All right, so we're going to start off with the buttons. Fourth place, Mally Borsham.
Sir.
That's not me, I'm just giving up the award.
Third place, Benjamin Thacker.
Benjamin, come over here. There's a certificate from the mayor and council, and it reads, the mayor and council take great pride in your accomplishments and are pleased and proud to acknowledge your wins. Good luck.
Yeah, Frank, announce her name from here,
So they can hear it, yeah.
TV, yeah.
Okay. Second place, we have Rebecca Lynn.
Congratulations.
Just the next one.
Be proud, hold it in front of you.
And first place, we have Scott Blickley.
We'd like to know that because we have 1,000 other buttons that will be transported throughout the town.
Good job.
Okay. We'll have to show people the first place button, make sure you pass that around, right? Let the council people.
Frank, explain to the audience what the first place,
We have what, over 1,000?
yes.
So the first place button, actually over 1,000 of those are going to be made and distributed over the town.
And they'll be given at Pride Day
Yep.
to the people that come to our table. And they'll be
Give us to
throughout
her.
the town.
I'd leave
We
it
do that every year. For the younger kids, siblings, knowing that you can possibly be the next one for next year.
Yeah. Okay, so moving into the posters, fifth place, we have Brianna Baeza.
Okay.
Fourth place, we have Joey Doherty. Third place, we have Olivia Pachucky.
Olivia, how you doing? Congratulations.
Congratulations, Olivia.
Second place, we have Natalie Baisden.
Congratulations, sweetheart.
Frank, clear it so that the big ones.
Beautiful work you guys did. There you go.
And in first place, we have Kaylina McLean.
Ask her how long it took her to do that.
Here, leave that here for a second.
Okay.
You want to get a picture, Joe?
Yeah, I'll get back in. Yeah, I want to announce.
How long did it take you to do that? Like a half an hour?
That's great.
Beautiful work. All right, so these are our winners this year, and everyone give them applause.
Can we get a picture?
Yeah, we're gonna get a picture. Yeah, hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second, okay? I just wanted to say a few words on behalf of the mayor and council. I'd like to congratulate all the kids that participated in this, and it's very important that we have a program like this for our children, that they're exposed to this and they understand that they're not naive. It's hard to teach them too young anymore in the society, so they're going to have the tools they need to defend themselves and do the right thing. I just want to announce real quick, okay? The first place winner for the poster contest, Kalina, she's from Samuel Faust, and then Natalie's from Cornwalls Elementary, and Olivia's from the School Lane Charter School, and then Joey Doherty, looks like he sells cars already. He's from Faust Elementary, and then Bianna Ramirez is also from Faust Elementary. Okay, so, and then Molly Brasha, she's from Schaefer, and then Benjamin Factor is from Cecilia Snyder, and Rebecca Lynn is from Robert Schaefer, and Scott Bickley is from Cecilia Snyder. So I just wanted to see, look at all the various schools across our school district that these kids are being educated this, and it's being spread throughout the township that we're going to make our kids, give them the tools necessary to stay away from drugs. Congratulations.
We got one more.
Yes. And we actually have one more in fourth place in the button contest, Muli Borsha.
Frank, one here. I don't have my roller skates on. Where's the logo? There's Frank. You want to take pictures? Anybody need to take pictures? Everybody good? I was yapping away.
That's a great message, which road we choose.
All right.
Right?
Thank you, guys.
It is a choice.
Thank you so much.
Okay, guys, ready? We're going to get back to our meeting here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Do we keep the posters? Is that what we're doing? Or do we keep them here, Deb?
They put them in the school or something.
What's? Okay, in the lobby. Okay, we'll put it in the lobby. Okay, we'll put it out there.
Go to your room. Anything you need, walk through
I don't think I asked before. Lauren, you have nothing that's off the agenda?
I do have one thing coming off and then one thing going on.
Okay,
do
okay,
have
go
two
ahead, I'm
changes.
sorry.
Hold on, let's get the door. Let's get the door. Yeah.
Okay, guys, can you shut the door so we can continue the meeting? Hey, Frank, do you want to put that out so people can see it out in the lobby? Because we're going to display them in the lobby for this week.
And that's an order.
What's that? Yeah, make it quick, though, that's all. All right, Frank.
Don't drop
Thank
it. Don't drop it, Frank.
you. It'll break. Okay, thanks. Okay, I'm sorry, Lauren, go ahead.
Sure. We did receive late last week a request to add an item to the agenda. This would be for the Summit Lane lot line change plan that was approved by council on April 8th, 2019. This would be just a reapproval and signing of the record plan. The only change that was made was that iron pins were changed to be concrete monuments on note number 3. So this would require a re-signing of the plans by council. So this would just be a reapproval
Okay,
and signing.
okay, we'll make that 6A, we'll do that.
I'll make a motion, we add that to the agenda.
Okay, so, Mr. Blair, second? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Okay, so reapproval of Summit Lane?
Right, and then with regard to agenda item number 6, as council will recall, this is the draft ordinance that was prepared regarding the Street Road corridor, primarily from Mechanicsville through Humesville, though it does extend beyond that. Phase 1 was related to just Mechanicsville to Humesville. We have been working with township staff over the past several months to review and revise this ordinance to prepare it in a form that would be in adoptable form by council. There have been significant changes to the current version of the ordinance, which would require re-advertising. We have also been working with staff to incorporate a lot of the changes that incorporate a lot of the comments, rather, from council during the Armstrong matter that was before council a month ago or so. So we're continuing to revise that, so we would recommend that this be tabled. It does not need to go to a date certain, as it does require re-advertising at this point.
Okay. Okay, so number 6 on the agenda, does someone make a motion that we table this to,
You just table indefinitely.
Why don't,
or just take it off the, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I'm saying, why wouldn't we wait for it to come up on the agenda as item number 6?
You prefer to wait?
Well, that's how I think we would do it.
Okay, it's up to you, I mean, you know. Okay. I thought you said I should have done Summit right away, so. Okay.
Should be 2 seconds, by the way.
Okay, next on the agenda is public, thank you, Lauren.
Yep.
Okay, next on the agenda is public comment on any agenda items. Of course, we'll have time for each, if there's an agenda item that someone wants to speak about, we have public comment at the end. Seeing no one come forward, we'll close the public comment. Okay, next on the agenda is approval of council minutes for meeting date May 28, 2019. Okay, does anybody have any changes to the, now that we got page?
Number 7 on page 3, there's no discussion on here. And while I understand that this was tabled, that we'll handle it at the next meeting that we have in June, but I'm concerned that all of the discussion and the comments that came up during the last council meeting won't be captured in minutes. So can we have this revised to add in a summary of that item number? Agenda item 7.
Yeah, take notes of what the people that came up at the,
Public comment on it.
well, that was public comment section.
Well, a
of that.
summary of
Yeah, but we allowed
what was
them to come up for this
proposed,
item.
and we had
Oh,
public
so, okay,
comment.
I understand. Let me listen to Mr.
And they
Sloan.
all are kept by the court stenographer too.
Yeah.
So those would be in there, so.
Right, so we should be able to hopefully get a record of that incorporated into the minutes.
Okay, anything else?
I'll make a motion, we approve as presented.
Okay, and with the change, well, we're gonna,
Why don't we table this to the next meeting when we can have it revised to incorporate the full discussion from that item?
We don't need to continue the whole minutes. You asked to have it.
We've done it before, when there's been
We continued
gaps.
items, but why continue the whole thing?
here's
I don't really care how we do it, I want to make sure that we I wouldn't approve this until it gets corrected, though.
She does have some of the people that came up in public comment at time. They didn't really come up during that agenda items. It really, whatever they said, people came up should be in public comment.
No,
So-
if I remember correctly, they
No,
came
I
up.
think they came up during
that particular
the
time.
agenda.
Oh, okay.
And if I remember, it was
Presentation, 'cause I
Mr.
questioned-
The
Polari.
neighbors of that property that came up to.
The neighbors,
Because I
yeah.
questioned.
Yeah, I agree. There's enough where we have to add. I think we need to table. And I mean, I'll put a motion that they would table the minutes.
I think I had a motion.
He did
first.
have a motion
I think
first.
you can just jump in and change it.
Yeah.
I'll withdraw now.
Okay, so you withdraw the motion. Do you have a motion?
I'll motion that we table.
Okay, let's table this to give Debbie an opportunity to add the comments that were made by the public when I opened up public comment during the agenda period.
I'll second.
Okay? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any against? Okay, thank you. Yeah, we gave people the opportunity to come up because we didn't want to, not, they all came out, so whatever,
Debbie, you should be able to get those off.
get a synopsis of what they said. Yeah,
That shouldn't be an issue.
yeah, shouldn't be a big deal. Okay,
Yeah, it's quite a few.
yeah, okay. Okay, next, number 5 on the agenda is consideration of a 2019 Community Development Block Grant as proposed by Mayor Joseph G. Girolamo. Lauren, do you have
Certainly.
this?
Certainly. As outlined in the mayor's memorandum, this has to do with the HUD funds that come into the township. Bensalem and Bristol Township are the only two municipalities in Bucks County that are granted their own HUD funds. So we are required to approve the allocation of funds as outlined in the memorandum. All other municipalities deal directly through the county and have to compete for funds, so we are fortunate enough to be able to allocate our funds as we see fit. The memorandum does outline the proposed, projected use of the funds divided amongst the Housing Rehabilitation Program, Senior Center Rehabilitation, Family Support Services for the Homeless Shelter, and the Program Administration.
Okay, yeah, and I think the homeless, the family services is over off of Knights Road, is the one in Bensalem. And then the senior center is our senior center rehabilitation, redoing that building. It needs a lot of electrical and HVAC work and electrical improvements, and it's important. Okay, does anybody have any questions about this? Somebody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion, we approve it, Mr. Joseph.
I did, I had a couple questions, sorry. And I don't know who can answer this if the mayor's not here. Maybe we can get some answers. The senior center, do we have bids for any of that, or estimates for any of the HVAC, fire alarm, electrical work?
My understanding is that is based on estimates only. It has not gone out to bid yet until until the funding is allocated through this. We can't go out to bid on the project.
Okay.
But it will need to be bid.
And then if for some reason the estimates exceed the $150,000, what happens then?
So this is just a preliminary allocation. The Director of Administration is the administrator of this program. So
Okay.
funds can be reallocated amongst these various projects as necessary. But I believe, and Mr. Gans can correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that's based on estimates from the township staff and engineering that went through that.
Okay, so the Director of Administration, does he have to come back, or does this have to come back in front of council if funds get moved around or reallocated?
No.
No.
No, okay,
Gets audited though by the county and the state.
okay.
Okay?
I think that's all I have.
Just to clarify, what happens if the funds fall short? I mean, you have allocated the entire amount here.
Correct.
So, I mean, if you fall short on the senior center, then, and you need those funds for those other agenda items, what then?
So the homeless shelter is actually run by Family Services, so that's a contribution the township makes. And then the program administration funding that's allocated is for things such as portions of the salary for the finance director and the director of administration, for portions of their job that are allocated to this. And then the balance of the funding is allocated to the housing rehabilitation program. So those funds can all be shifted. The hard cost is really the senior center rehabilitation. But
And
this
what-
is just a preliminary allocation, and it is fairly common to reallocate as the year goes.
Yeah, that's fine. I just, and I'm glad you brought up the program administration. I was just wondering what those costs were. And salary for whom?
It's portions of the salary for the finance director and director of administration, because they do work with this program.
Okay.
What portion of their salaries is covered by this?
That, I don't know the specifics of it. It's $60,000 that's allocated towards this, and there's some other administrative costs that are built into that.
I mean, that just seems incredibly excessive for a program where we're only receiving less than $330,000.
Like I said, there's other administrative costs in there. If you wanted to know the specifics of what was allocated, the director of administration would really be able to
Okay.
provide that. I don't have that
I would
information.
like to know that,
And I
please.
believe this all
Certainly.
falls within HUD rules, the
This
rules
is-
and regulations, that these are what are allowed in each one of those.
Absolutely. All this
That's
has to be very carefully administered within the HUD regulations so the township continues to receive the funding.
Okay, I'd like to get a breakdown of, what those funds go to, please.
Certainly, I
Okay,
can pass that along.
Thank
I'd
you.
like to see these money get out to these people though, too, and get one
Absolutely.
project
I
started.
get one other item. Just to clarify, the Director of Finance portion of the salary to our Director of Finance?
Correct.
Okay. We budgeted 100% of his salary at the end of the year, correct?
The budget does take into account the portion of the, and
It does.
it's a small portion, but it does take
Okay.
this into account.
Okay.
Probably just hours spent administering.
It's always
It's a
been
very
part
small
of his
portion,
salary.
yeah.
Has
Got
always
it.
been part of his salary.
Okay,
Right.
all right, that's,
Yeah.
all right, great, thank you.
That's already taken into account. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
I'll make a motion, we approve as presented.
okay.
I'll second the motion.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right. Okay, number 6. Okay, and this is the consideration that Lauren explained in the beginning, we wanted to keep as number 6.
I put that in the form of a motion that we would table this.
Okay,
Second?
okay. We were first, we have a second?
We're tabling indefinitely?
Indefinitely,
Correct.
yeah, until it's ready.
It would have to be re-advertised.
It's got to be
before it comes back, right?
re-advertised, so. Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any against? Okay. Good. Okay, now our new 6A. Okay, 6A is, I thought it was a good name, 6A, but is the reapproval and the signing of Summit Lane. Mr. Gantz, you have this?
Yes, Lauren pretty much already told you what it's about. We have to reapprove.
You're on point tonight, huh?
Before you
What do you got, stinking pies up?
So the reapproval and signing.
Right, and it was a lot line change on Summit between two,
They did the equalize the lot area, they did more side yard distance to one of the garages.
right, okay. It was a simple thing. Okay, and then there was one change on there, they had to change the language on the pin.
We require concrete lining, we don't allow pins.
Right,
Pins.
of which you told him that when he made the presentation.
Yeah,
That was part of your approval.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly right, that is correct.
okay, so they had to do it. Okay, so any other questions? So we want to make a,
I'll make a
reapprove
motion
this
that we
and
approve and sign the record plans for Summit
Second the
Lane.
motion.
second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any against? Okay, all right, now make sure that 3 of us have to sign that before we go, okay? Ron has it out front here for us to do that, make it easy. Okay, is there anything else? Okay, that's great. All right, so public comment, does anybody want to come up for public comment? Okay, come on up, sir, if you can introduce yourself and,
Hi, my name is Michael Zaneski. Thank you all for letting me be here. I'm with Joanne Leonard and Marie Leonard. We live at 2731 Ogden Avenue. I'm here to just make a comment about the work that's been done on our road. From our house down to the end of your project is about 3/4 of a mile. New curbing, new drains. We're the only spot that still hasn't had anything done, and the water backs up into our yard. Mom cannot walk out the driveway. If you want to get, anybody who wants to drive by, probably Thursday, Friday, the water might be gone by then for you to walk into our driveway. Don't understand, you have new drains going into an old drain, and then about 100 feet of old drain, and then your new drain starts. We have water on our road constantly. There's kids playing, there's some new people just moved in, are redoing their house. We're trying to make our house look nice. It's constant water, constant bugs, and it's an unsafe situation. In the winter, it's icy. and it just seems a little unfair. The problem that I'm having is, in speaking to some of the supervisors and some of the neighbors, there's a bunch of different stories about what was to be happening. They said the road was going to be paved and graded, and then we're told, well, sorry, that's just going to be the way it's going to be. Well, it doesn't seem very fair to be that's the way it's going to be. We're the only section in that whole thing that has not had been done. The supervisors and some of this, I don't know the gentleman's name that was a supervisor on the crew from, this is going back to the end.
Wasn't a township official that told you that?
No, sir, but I did call the township to make a complaint about it. No one has ever gotten back to us.
Did they do any work in front of your?
No, sir. The drain at the edge of the property was resealed, but it's the old drain, the old pipes in the ground. At Lavender in Ogden is a new drain. The whole corner is all brand new. But from our house to there is the old drain. They never dug up the road. They never did anything.
Okay, well, we have Quentin here. Quentin, do you know anything about this, or we could just look into it and why don't you know anything about this now? Okay, so what we'll do is, this is Quentin, our engineer, okay? So if you give Debbie your contact information, okay? And we wrote down your address here, and she'll write down your address, the address of is it your parents? Okay, and then your contact information.
Okay.
And then we'll have the administration send out our engineers to look at the property, see what work's been done, and we'll get you an update on what's been done or what's going to be done, or what,
Okay.
you know.
Is there a real quick question? I mean, is there going to be repaving done? That's what we were told originally. that there would be.
Yeah, my understanding is the street's going to be repaved, but I don't know where you live on the street, you know, and they didn't do any work, so I really don't.
I thought Ogden was repaved.
Not between our property and Lavender.
Quentin will be able to answer those questions.
We'll be able to answer that. We can
We'll
look.
look at the
Okay.
plans and see what's there, but my understanding was all of Ogden was supposed to be
No,
repaved.
absolutely not.
I understand. You're
Well, that's what that
saying
guy's
it hasn't
saying,
been
but you
done
know,
yet.
yeah.
That guy said that, but we're not saying that.
Yeah.
So let Quentin come out,
Okay.
meet with you, look at what's there, and let's get to the bottom of it and get it straightened
Because
out.
This is a gentleman that will come out?
Yeah, yeah, because we had a lot of people calls, and I got a lot of calls from people where they paved half the street, left the other half unpaved, and then some supervisor told them they're leaving it like that, and that's the way it's going to be. I was getting a lot of calls like that, and then I found out that they're going to pave the whole road. I just don't want to tell you 100% that they're going to pave the whole road, including in front of your house, until I know for sure. But if they did work anywhere near your house, I think it's getting.
Well, that's a concern. If you looked at where they dug up the road and put the pipes in, that section between our property and the end does not have a section dug up. It's never been touched.
Okay, well, we'll send an engineer out there, and they can't do work and make your water worse. Okay, so we'll look into it.
Well, they did.
And give Debbie your contact information, so reach it, and it's 2331 Ogden, is that your?
2731.
2731.
The other thing to look at too is to see if maybe there was a mist between your property and other properties that should have had piping or something done.
And that's what it looks like, to be honest with
Quentin will
you.
be able to look into all that for us, because Quentin works for the engineer.
Yeah.
He does all the outside inspections and everything, so Quentin will be able to get us squared away, know where you are, and then we can go to bat for you from there.
Okay, excellent.
And
Thank you
everything
very
was
much.
so old, when they dug everything up, apparently, like, everything was, like, deteriorated way worse than they thought. They had to replace a lot more pipes, so they kind of got, you know, they might have got ahead of them.
That may be.
Is your place where they had the underground gas lines or underground lines or something? Because
Yeah,
that
that's
held
what-
up
yeah.
one part of it, but Quentin will be able to get us.
You know where the VFW is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you got that big lot right across,
I'm
we're
aware
at
of your
that corner.
I'm aware of where your property is.
Okay.
I live in Eddington,
Okay.
so I'm aware of your property is. I'll take a ride down
Yeah, please do.
to see what's going on.
If you want to come in, have a cup of coffee, bring extra shoes though, because it'll
Okay.
be wet when you come in.
Bring boots.
Bring boots. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Can I,
do you have a question?
just a quick question. We had several residents come up at the last council meeting for Ogden. I mean, do we not have some update on at least those issues that were raised at the prior council meeting? Since we're talking about Ogden.
So I know that the inlet protection's been, I guess, partially removed on a lot of the boxes that were holding water, we'll say, not draining properly. I don't know if 100% of them are done, but I know they were out there last week pulling some. I was actually on Ogden earlier today. There was no drainage down in the construction area, but I was not up in this area where he's referring to.
Gotcha.
So I'd have to check that out myself. So,
Okay, all right.
Okay, so you'll touch base with the administration
Yes.
tomorrow, and then you'll go down and take a look at it, and then you'll get back to Debbie, and we'll find out what's going on, okay? We'll
correct.
get a report from
And
them.
if I'm not mistaken, you're between Lavender and I guess it's Beverly?
Lavender and Woodbine, I think it is.
Going towards Street Road. So I think I know the area where he's at, but like I said, I haven't seen it, so.
Yeah, okay.
But I'll check it out tomorrow for you.
Yeah, appreciate the follow-up.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Quinn. All right. Okay, is there anybody else coming forward? Okay, with that, we'll close public comment, okay? Is there any other business? Ron, do you have anything for us?
I just want to clarify one thing. Quentin is not the inspector on this project. There's this.
Oh, we understand that, yeah.
Different engineer running this project.
Yeah.
So he has to coordinate with that engineer to
Right.
find out what, so it's
Right.
not like he's missing things. He's not inspecting it on a daily basis.
Well, I understand that, yeah, but
Okay.
thanks for clearing it up.
Yeah, this is just a particular place was the problem.
Right, sure.
I
And we'll look
understand-
into it.
I understand
But-
the supervisor who was working the job down there retired, and they have a
Oh.
new supervisor in there.
Okay.
So that's where some of the miscommunications are, I think, and I think it's good Quentin goes down there and find out what's going on.
And plus, Ron, you know, as being an engineer, it's better to have an engineer talk to another engineer because they don't give you engineer speak and try to, you know what I mean? This way, at least Quentin will understand when they're talking about flows and what they're doing next. And get a report. Okay. Is there, okay, anybody else? Lauren, do you have anything? Nothing. You're okay? Okay, Mr. Sloan, do you have anything for us?
I understand the Chamonix Valley, the roads back there were getting paved, and if I can borrow Quentin for a minute when he's done speaking with the residents over there. I did receive some complaints that curbs and driveway aprons were damaged as part of the paving, and I just wanted to see if we were gonna follow up and make sure that all of that gets repaired.
Yeah, I think generally if they are damaged.
I think generally we do
Yeah.
follow up to see if there's any damages to curbs and driveway aprons.
Yes, we are getting a lot of calls.
Okay.
A
I had
lot of the-
complaints on Hamilton Court, so
I've gotten many calls, so I
I
don't know if I
figured
got
you
it.
had, yeah.
So basically, when our milling machine goes through there, they're taking the full asphalt up.
Yep.
A lot of the areas that we're having problems with is where there's patches on the curbs where the asphalt is holding that up. So what our plan is, we're going through pave, and then we have a crew on standby, basically, to come in and do curb work to
Okay.
repair theirs. So we're not doing any repairs on the curbs until the road is actually paved.
Okay.
I did talk to our, I guess he's the paving superintendent from our contractor. That was on Thursday or Friday morning. He wants to get a list as soon as possible because he has guys available. At this point, we don't have that much paved to give him a full day on doing the repair work that we need.
Okay.
So we don't want to do the repair work and then come back in case it's chipped off when the paving machine goes by.
Sure.
We'd rather just do it one time.
Understood. Okay, so
So-
if there's a specific house, do you want me to pass the address on to you, or how they, or they
Yeah,
just
just
go
have them
into
call our office. They can call. We're keeping a running log of where we're at.
Perfect.
So
Okay.
I would send, I mean, it's up to you, Jess, but I would send an email to Dawn with the addresses and then she can get them to Quentin
Yeah,
and then
no
everybody
problem.
can
yeah,
stay.
his email's fine. It's us
Yeah,
as well.
Okay,
And this way we'll know what he has to
And they're
follow up on.
anticipating being done paving by the end of this month. So
okay. So it'll be another couple
I'm
weeks
figuring
until everything
about-
gets fixed anyway.
I would say about the end of July, hopefully we should be 100% out of everywhere.
Okay,
And I'll punch list work done.
perfect. Thank you. Appreciate the update.
Stay close in case the, I mean, okay.
The only
anything
other
else?
thing, I just want to say congratulations to all the students, and the last day of school is on Friday, so special congratulations to all of our graduates.
Okay. All right, Mr. Polari, do you have anything?
Phillies are losing 3-0.
3-0. Oh, they're playing?
Yeah,
It's good, it's good. Okay, Mr. Takamajian, do you have anything?
Yeah, I had one item, maybe Lauren can help out with this a little bit. The grant that we just approved this evening raised some questions in regards to, and I think the grant had something about it can go towards blight. And also, I was reviewing the quarterly financials that we were provided by John, end of March. And part of the general fund and the non-departmental, we do have blight funds available. And just recently, and I'm sure some of the other fellow council members can attest also, is that we've gotten a number of complaints about blighted properties across the township. So my question to you is, and some of them which I believe were in litigation or they were going to court, and you don't have to answer this evening, but what I'm looking for is maybe a list of properties that we are currently pursuing with the county. And I'll give you a couple examples. The Mill Road with the sign, I know previously, earlier this year, there was a property on Colmar Road.
Mill Road's not blight, that's a sign.
No, you're right, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Just general statement as far as
Okay.
what's up at county. Colmar Road, I think, was blight.
Yes.
And I'm not sure if there was a property down on Orchid. I'm not sure if that's up at county or not, but I know we were having problems there. And I'm sure there's additional examples. I don't know if, and that's fine if we do it at exec, but I would like to see what our follow-up is on some of those issues. And, you know, it's more troubling to the neighbors of these properties, and I would just like to get an idea as far as where we stand.
Yeah, I think that individual property discussions are probably best had in executive session, because there are several matters of open litigation. We do have a number of methods that we use to deal with blighted properties. One that you mentioned is the RDA. We're working closely with the RDA on a couple of different projects. What that enables us to do is use the county's funds to take care of some of these properties.
Okay.
Some of them, we do file just regular court cases, and we're able to deal with it that way. And we are generally able to lien the properties for the township costs. That way the costs are reimbursed when and if the property sells. For this particular, the CDBG funding, it is HUD funding, so we are limited as to which types of properties we can use the funding for. I don't...
And that's fine. I'm not connecting it with this at this point. Well, it's just generically saying, hey, where do we stand with some of these blighted properties, and are we following up? When's the next court date, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I do know that my office does meet regularly with code enforcement to discuss the status of various litigation matters and to keep on top of any new properties that come in through complaints or through the township's discovery. So we do meet regularly with them to make sure that we're staying on top of it, but we can certainly provide you with an update.
That'd be great, yeah.
The particular ones, you can just update them personally too, if you're not doing it public, you know, you can.
Yeah, it would be appropriate to do that.
Yeah,
That's
just
fine.
let us
Yeah,
know or
that's
send
fine.
us
But-
in our office.
But again,
mail.
it seems like it's a common theme that's been coming up more recently. I know we've had individuals here at the
frustrating,
prior
yeah.
council meetings.
It's frustrating.
It is, and I
The
just
judges don't let you do it. You can't just go in there and spend, even if you have the money to do it, you can't just do it without permission to do it.
Sometimes it's even difficult with the property owner's permission. So
Yeah,
it is, we are up against some obstacles there, but we do keep things moving forward as we're able to do so.
That's fine, but near-term request, that maybe you could give us an update, that'd be great. And then in regards to litigation, I also wanted to ask about the ShopRite property, or I guess the old Kmart. I wasn't sure where we stand with that.
It's done.
Well, we don't stand, we're not a member of the lawsuit.
It's
That was,
done. They're not going.
they're not going.
Oh.
That's between Corman, that's a private matter really between Corman and the Browns. Okay, the owner
No,
of
it's
shop.
not the
Until they
Well,
filed an appeal on our decision.
Foreman and the owner of the Kmart.
Corner,
We-
okay, I'm sorry.
We are entered.
My understanding is Browns isn't going there now.
That's my understanding
Right.
too.
We did enter our appearance. We were mostly monitoring because it was, the applicant was taking on the lion's share of the defense, but we are entered. But I believe that litigation is done, and they have decided to go elsewhere.
I think it couldn't be worked out, it just didn't work out. And they didn't want to, well, that's
That's my
a legal matter, so we're not
Okay.
really, it's
Yeah.
a court matter.
Okay, all right. And then I also wanted to congratulate our DARE students, as well as we have several graduations going on in the high school and our middle schools. And, so I just want to say congratulations to all of our Bensalem students this week. That's all I had. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Kisbach, do you have anything?
Just to add to the meeting that June 21st is the first day of summer. All of our boys and girls are out of school, so when you're driving the streets of Bensalem, just be a little more careful because kids are running around and having a good old time and oblivious to the world around them. So let us be as adults, act like adults when we're in those cars driving around. That's it. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I would just like to add that, I would add to Mr. Kisselback's point that I would like to, this kids will be out of school, so do be careful on the streets, kids will be playing. I'd like to congratulate anybody that's graduating, they have kindergarten, pre-kindergarten, but anybody or second, 2-year-old school. But especially our grade school and high school and college graduates and Anybody getting out of a trade school that's going to be able to go on to work now, congratulations to everybody in that regard. Also coming up is Father's Day. Okay, so I'd like to congratulate all the fathers out there that, and I know we disagree on this board a little bit, but I would agree that we're all pretty good fathers, and we all are very strong in that regard. So I would like to congratulate all the fathers out there that are doing the right thing and trying to do their best to raise their kids the right way. Okay, with that, we have a motion to close?
I'll make the motion.
So moved.
Let's put the back from